Hi guys, welcome to my channel Apni Pathshala. In the previous video I have completed the whole poem The Road Not Taken from your BEEHIVE book. So let us see the question answers from your textbook and further we will go for some extra questions. Let's start. Thinking about the poem, page number 16. Question 1. Where does a traveler find himself? What problem does he face? The traveler finds himself at a point where two roads diverge. His problem is to decide on which road he should walk. So here the traveler is the poet of the poem and he came in a point where he finds himself between a place where two roads diverge. From which two roads diverge? And his problem was is to decide on which road he should walk. Actually, he was unable to decide on which road he should walk, and he is quite disturbed that he was unable to choose, and he inspected both of the paths so that he could choose the right path. Number 2. Discuss what this phrase means to you. A yellow wood, a forest in the autumn season. Number 2. It was grassy and wanted view. The road was grassy because it was a less traveled road. It wanted people to move on it. The passing there, it implies walking on the road. Leaves no step had trodden black. It means the leaves had not been crushed under the feet of travelers. Number 5. How way leads on to way. How one road leads to another. So the phrases are given here and the answers are also given here. You can take screenshots and write side by side. Because I have designed it like this, so I think you might have problem in the way I said the answers to you. So sorry for that, and I think you can able to understand the whole question and answer. Question 3. Is there any difference between the two roads as the poet describes them? Number 1 in stanza 2 and 3, and number 2 in the last two lines of the poem. So the question says that is there any difference between the two roads as the poet describes them? Because in the last two lines the description was different, and in stanza 2 and 3 the description was quite different. So the answer, there is no difference between the two roads in stanzas 2 and 3. In the last two lines of the poem, the poet tells that the road he opted for is less traveled. So in the stanza 2 and 3, it was actually the description of the two paths that was in front of the poet and he have to choose. So in the last two lines, when we came to know that he had chosen the road which was travelled by less, so we thought that he might be in trouble, but he is happy with his with the decision of his life that he had chosen the path which was less travelled by, and he is not actually regretting about his choice and the decision he made in the past. Number 4. What do you think the last two lines of the poem mean? Looking back, does the poet regret his choice or accept it? The last two lines have the quintessence of the poem. The poem expresses his opinion that it becomes difficult for a moment normal human being to change his or her decision. The poet intends to walk on the first road, but he could not do so because the life does not offer multiple chances to choose. The decision taken may of one's future or lead one to success. It makes all the differences. He now repents for not getting a chance to travel the first route. So in the last lines of the poem, there was a bit of essence of the poem that made us realize that the poet has actually chosen the wrong path in his life, and he was now regretting that why he had not chosen the path which was traveled by more. Generally, we as human beings never try to choose the path or the way which was traveled by no one. We generally choose the path or the way which is traveled by many people and take inspiration and ideas from them. So when the poet had chosen that path, he was quite sure about his decision, but after some years he realized that he had chosen the wrong path, and now he is regretting of his decision. There was multiple chances to choose, but he chose the actually attracted him the most. So the decision of choosing makes someone sincere about one's future and success. So we should choose carefully, but we should take inspiration from the author that the how he repents for not getting a chance to travel on the first route. So let us see some additional questions. Short answer type question. Question 1. What was the poet's dilemma? The poet was standing before the two roads. He had to decide which one would lead him to success. It was not easy for him to decide, so he stood and introspected. Out of the two options, he had to choose the one. Of course, it was not an easy choice. So, when the poet was standing before the two roads, he had to decide one path out of them which will lead him to his success. So, that was the poet's dilemma, that he was unable to choose between the two paths. So, he stood there and introspected properly. Out of the two options, he had to choose the one, and of course, it was not an easy choice because it is the choice of our future. So, how could it have been such an easy choice? We all struggle to make choices in taking the right decision in our future. Number 2. What was the poet's opinion about both the roads? Answer. The poet opined that both the roads were same. They were equally travelled and there was no difference between them. So he got confused. It was difficult to decide which road would be more convenient and comfortable. He wanted to choose the one that would take him to his intended destination. So the poet told that both the roads were equally same, and that is why he found it more difficult to choose between one of them. He got confused and he was not pretty sure that which one to choose for more convenient and comfortable path to future. He wanted to choose the one that would take him to his intended destination. So we don't know that which path we are walking, but the poet here wishes, and also we as human beings wished for choosing that path only which will take us to our intended destination. Question 3. What do the roads represent? The roads represent the problem of decision making. Human beings suffer because of their choices and decisions. They find themselves in such situations at every step in their lives. Out of the available options, they have to choose the one that may take them to their destination. The choice decides the outcome in life. So the roads in the poem actually represent the problem of decision making that we all have in our life. Human beings suffer because of their choices and decisions. They find themselves in such a situation at every step in their lives. Out of the available options, they have to choose the one that may take them to their destination, and the choice decides the outcome of our life. So at some point of our time, like the poet, we have to decide which path we should choose and which will be more appropriate for us, and this choice decides the outcome in our life. Number 4. Did the poet take his decision haphazardly? No, he speculated and brooded over the situation. He took this decision after a lot of contemplation. He didn't take this decision haphazardly. No doubt he was a bit confused. After all, it was not quite easy to make the right choice, but he exercised his option after much contemplation. So, the poet had not chosen his path haphazardly. He was confused, but he had chosen his path after many introspection and carefully after seeing all of them with his own perspectives. So he exercised over his contemplation and had chosen the right path for him. Number 5. Why did the poet choose that road? The poet chose that road because it was less traveled. He wanted to do those activities which had not been done by anyone earlier. The poet didn't seem to be interested in choosing a much trodden path of life, avoiding the popular rat race. He opted for the option that broke fresh grounds. So, the poet chose the road because it was less traveled. He was actually interested in doing things which no one had done earlier. So, it seems that he had chosen the path which was less traveled by to experience new perspectives of life. And avoiding the rat race, he opted for the option that was quite fresh, that has quite fresh grounds or basis according to him. Number 6. What is the message of the poem? The message of the poem is to make people aware of their analytical skills. The poet wishes to say that choices should be made carefully and thoughtfully. One should behave responsibly because life does not offer multiple chances every now and then. So, the message of the poem is to make people aware of their analytical skills, and the poet wishes to say that choices should be made carefully with full introspection. One should behave responsibly because life does not offer multiple chances every now and then. Yes, it is true that life will never offer the same path or the same choice to us that it has offered years and years ago. It will only offer once, and we have to think analytically and logically about the path and choose any one out of them. Number 7. Did the poet make the right choice? Answer. It is not easy to say whether the poet made the right choice or not. He himself could not reach to any such conclusion. It is possible that he may repent for making such a choice. He avoided the popular and off-beaten path of life. He dared to choose the path which was less frequented, used by the people. This bold decision might bring all the difference in his life. So, after reading the poem, we cannot say that the poet has either made a right decision or a wrong decision. Actually, he himself couldn't reach to any such conclusion about his life from that decision of the paths. It is possible that he was regretting about his choice because he cannot experience the first path of the road because he has chosen the another. And he also avoided the popular and off-beaten path of the life. He dared to choose the path which was less frequented and was less used by most of the people. This was a quite bold and strong decision for him, which brings all the differences in his life. Number 8. Why did the people take the other road? Why did the other road have better claim than the first road? The poet had to choose one of the two roads. He left one which was a popular choice. He decided to take the other road which was less frequented and travelled by the people. The other road had a better claim as it was grassy. It invited people to walk on it. So, the poet had to choose one of the two roads between the choices between the roads which was in front of them. He left the one which was a popular choice and was travelled by many, and chose the other which was frequently travelled and not so used or quite a good path for people to travel. The other road was a better claim because it was grassy and it wanted more people to walk on it. So the other path which was just beside the path the poet had chosen was quite a better claim because it was grassy and it invited people to walk on it. Number 9. Describe the conditions of both the roads that lay open before the poet on that morning. In the yellow autumnal wood, two roads diverged into two directions. Both of them were covered with the fallen leaves. In the morning, both of them were still untouched. The steps of travelers have not blackened them. One was frequently used by the travelers, and the other one was not a popular choice. It seemed to invite people to walk on it. So, in the yellow autumnal wood, there was two roads which diverged in two different directions. Both of them were covered with fallen leaves, and in morning both of them were still untouched, because the time from which the poet was seen till the morning, no one has traveled through both of the paths. That is why, and the traveler have not yet left their footprints on the leaves, so the leaves are quite fresh. The other one was not a popular choice because less people have chosen it, and it seemed to invite that people should walk on it and experience a new way of life. Number 10. Was the poet certain to come back on the road he had left for one another day? Answer. Life and its ways are complex and confusing. One road leads to another. In this way, one has to make a choice. The poet left the one road and hoped that he would use it another way. But he was quite doubtful. It often happens that the road that is left once is left forever. Rarely do we come onto that road again. So, life has its own complexity and confusion, and we all are trapped in this perspective of life. One road actually leads to another, but in this way we all have to make choices depending upon our situation. The poet left that one road to travel it another day, and then walked over the road which was less traveled by to experience more things. But the road he left once is actually left forever. It applies to all of us, because the choice we made out of two options is what we want, but the choice is what that is left must have better outcomes if we have chosen it. But who knows what happens in life? So you should always choose a path according to the past as well as the concepts of future, because it is much needed thing to think about the path you have chosen for future, because it decides your whole life and also responsible for your success. Question 12. How does the outcome of our life depends on the choice we make to reach our destinations? Life is full of complexities. It provides us with different choices and options. The choice is never easy. Our success or failure depends on the choice that we make. Most people choose the most popular or frequented paths of life, but some bold and adventurous people take risks and choose the less frequented paths and ways of life. So, the outcome of our life is obviously dependent on the choices that we have made. Life is actually full of complexities. It provides us with different choices and options at different points of time with alternatives. The choices are never easy, and our success is actually dependent on the choices we make out of the options. Mostly people choose the most popular or frequented paths of life because they think that it is quite normal that most of the people have walked through the path, so the path will be better for them. But it is not always that true. The path which is chosen by others may not also be right for you, because you don't know the outcome. So how can you assume that what others have, I can also have that? You should have different, right? If something is something you deserve is the best, then you should have to make sacrifices also to deserve the best. But Some bold and adventurous people take risks and choose the less frequented paths and ways of life. So like the poet, some people always choose the most bold and adventurous paths of their life, which are less frequented paths and ways of life, and they experience disadvantages and struggles also, but they actually win in their life because they have made their decision by their own. They have not observed that how many people have walked this way or how many people have walked that way. You should not copy others, but you should make your own way and work on it, because no one can know you better than yourself, and you have to make these choices carefully, that which path you should choose for your future. So I have completed the question answers of the road not taken, and in the previous video I have done the summary word meanings and synonyms. So I hope you have understood the line by line explanations also. So we will meet in the next video. If you have liked this video, then like it, share it, subscribe to my channel for more contents. Thank you.